Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Elivaras, a senior player moderator for League of Angels Fire Raiders. Welcome to the pilot episode of Hero Spotlight, a series where we take a look at a certain hero, delve deep into their skills, figure out which crests, astral training lines, and runes should be focused on that hero, and which team compositions this hero works in. We're going to start off this series with Light Envoy, one of my favorite heroes and the best female tank in the game, unrivaled in both tankiness and team support. So, as you can see on the screen right here, we do have Light Envoy, but this is not actually Light Envoy, it is the Celestial Merchant. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is how to get Light Envoy, as quite a few new players do not know how to get her. So when blitzing, this could be blitzing Hero Chronicles, this could be blitzing Purgatory, this could be blitzing normal adventure map and elite adventure, you have a chance of spawning a Celestial Merchant, but this Celestial Merchant will only spawn if you have 5-star heroes and 25 or more shards of those 5-star heroes, or not shards, soul stones, I guess. So if I have a 5-star Knight Sentinel and I get 25 more of his soul stones, I have a chance of spawning the Celestial Merchant when I'm blitzing. So let's quickly take a look into what the Celestial Merchant offers. Celestial Merchant will always offer one item down in the bottom middle, 2 random hero soul stones, 5 of them for 10 of the hero of choice. You can see that Mysterious Count is the one that she's looking for this time. Always 10 rune crystals, always 1 amethyst. And right here, top left, Light Envoy. For 25 of those hero shards that the Celestial Merchant is after, you can get 5 Light Envoy soul stones. And that is where you get her. That's the most worth thing. I know when you are early in the game, you figure, man, I'm going to need a ton of soul stones to get Light Envoy to 5 stars, and you are correct, but it is definitely worth it. So, I'll pick up a Whale Brittle because I could really use one of those, and probably some runes. Rune crystals. Right then. Yeah, then she leaves. Alright, so let us delve into Light Envoy's skills. Oh, look, we can use that. I'm going to post something for her here. There we go, nice. Alright, so let's start by looking into Light Envoy's skills. So, first skill, God's Praise. This skill is very beneficial to the team, as you can see by its description and what it gives to the whole team. More agility, as you can see, agility plus 24% at max level means it really fits the meta because it's easier to get as much DPS as possible, as quickly as possible with that extra agility, meaning you can probably shoot off your skills before the enemy does. Especially when you're in a situation where a bunch of heroes have their ults ready to shoot, and then it'll choose the one with the highest agility. And the biggest thing here is Rage. Rage, it also fits the meta of as much damage as quickly as possible, as, whoops, I declicked it there. As obviously this means that your heroes, if she procs this, will get Rage and will be able to use their ultimates right away, probably on the second turn. Yeah, do I have anything else to say about that skill? Okay, I don't think so. Next skill, Light Torture. One of her less amazing skills, but this means she can control an enemy for 1 round and give them chaos. Now, it is a random enemy, and that's what makes it a little sucky, and it's on a chance. So she has a chance to stun a random enemy on the team and give them chaos. And what chaos does is it means they will hit it, rather than attacking your team, they will shoot a basic attack at someone else on their team. It's okay, it's only good if it lands on high DPS targets. It prevents another ability from triggering for that target that it hits. So for example, if you hit a Knight Sentinel, the Knight Sentinel cannot use a double shot range on one of your heroes, which is obviously good. And it allows an enemy hero on the other team to get damaged. Of course, this is only if it lands on a DPS. It's typically not very useful if it lands on a tank. So next, God Blessing. This is her huge skill, and this is what makes her such an amazing tank. basically a 28.5% decrease to all damage. This is insane. About 30% of all damage dealt to her is decreased, which is amazing. There's not much else to be said. It's just less damage dealt to her. Light Wave. This skill is very good team support, really helps your DPS heroes. It gives attack to all of your heroes, a passive attack boost. Next, her Awakening skill. Summon the power of Holy Light to increase rage of 2 teammates with the lowest rage. This just gives her even more rage to give out to the team, which means even more DPS because of more ultimates being able to be fired off. So yeah, just more rage. She gives a ton of team support. Very, very valuable hero. So now we're done with skills. Let's take a look into Crest. What Crest should you use on Light Envoy? Light Envoy. I would recommend Warden with defense percent. So a lot of people at first thought Warden was bad because of armor piercing. People were saying armor, like, there's so many heroes with armor piercing, they'll just melt right through the armor, it won't even matter. But here's the thing. It turns out a lot of heroes don't actually have armor piercing. I was a little bit where I put Warden on her originally, and then people were saying, oh, Warden, that's good. Warden isn't that good because of all the armor piercing. But then when I was actually researching, it's like, there's actually not many heroes with armor piercing. Night Sentinel's really the main hero that has armor piercing. So Warden's just the optimal crest for her, as defense is a greater value than HP. Because if the enemy is going to hit you with an 100k hit, a little, like 10k more HP or 20k more HP is probably not going to help you survive. Just more defense to lower the amount of damage to be dealt to you by a significant amount is even better. Especially because Warden itself gives plus 25% defense, which is huge. It's a defense bonus to both physical defense and magical defense, because it's just defense and not physical or magical. You can see stats 66.7% more defense bonus, so she's basically at 90% plus 90% defense. This is tons and tons and tons of damage reduction. So more defense, you have a greater ability to tank high DPS heroes than HP will give you. Obviously, defense percent on your crest will give you even more defense. So now, let's take a look at Astral Training. What lines should you focus for Astral Training on Light Envoy? So the first line I would recommend, this is the highest, the most significant line you should focus right off the bat, is Aries. Right here. It gives the most defensive stats. You see you get physical defense, magical defense, HP, and resilience. Resilience is a big stat because it lowers the chance of an enemy critting on you, which can be very beneficial against heroes like Night Sentinel, Bamboo Fighter, like these very high DPS heroes. Dragon Queen as well, good example. Cancer and Gemini are the next best. You can see here we get attack, magical defense, HP, and resilience, and in Cancer we get attack, magical defense, HP, and dodge. So, magical defense, physical defense, it doesn't really matter. They're both equally valued, and she has a lot of both. The reason I'd say these two are the next best is because I prefer resilience and dodge over the parry that is given by Taurus. I think dodge is obviously better than parry because it negates all damage. Parry just halves the damage. And I'll take resilience over parry because it lowers the chance of being critically hit, and critical hits do a lot of damage. But that means Taurus is the next best, so the fourth one down on the list, because it gives 3 defensive stats, and the lowest on her would be Leo because it gives only 2 defensive stats, and that would be physical defense and hit points. Attack, obviously, on 4 of these lines in Taurus, Gemini, Leo, and Cancer, attack is nowhere near beneficial in Light Envoy. She's not a DPS hero in the slightest. Attack is not going to benefit her, and hit won't really benefit her much either. I mean, I guess she can land her Chaos, her Light Torture a little more often, but to be honest, I mean, hit, yeah, it could be way better valued if it was resilience, if it was dodge, if it was parry, another one of those defensive skills. So, Leo the least. To give you a rundown, I'll try and remember to post this in the description below. What Astral Training lines you should focus. Top priority, Aries. Second, Cancer and Gemini. Third, Taurus. Fourth, Leo. So now, let's take a look at runes. What are your rune priorities on Light Envoy? It's going to take like 7 years to get all the way down here. So I'll give you a rundown right now. Your priority, well, while I'm still waiting to actually get there, your priority for runes should be resilience, physical defense, and magical defense. There we are. We're finally to Light Envoy. So priority, physical defense, magical defense, resilience. Resilience, I already told you, reduces the chance to be crit. Obviously really good. Physical defense, magical defense, more defense, less damage to you. Hit points and agility are the least priority. I'd say hit points is even less of a priority than agility because plus 8,200 hit points is not a whole lot. Agility, I'd say, is least priority. Originally, people were saying for Crest, alright, run Flash with defense percent. I was never really a believer in running Flash. My stance was that she is always going to have her rage bar filled first, just because she's the one being hit. She's gaining rage from attacking, and she's gaining even more rage from being hit, especially if it's like a big critical hit or if it's just a high damage hit. She'll almost always rage off the first or second turn, and typically there is not going to be an enemy hero that has a full rage bar along with her at the same time, so agility doesn't really matter because she's going to have a full rage bar first. Anyways, yeah, so in reality, less agility won't really affect her ability to use her ultimate that much. Maybe once in a while, but overall, not a lot. HP is overrated because, as I said before, heroes typically do hundreds of thousands of damage, and your best bet is to get more defense to lower the damage dealt rather than trying to stack HP, where an 100k hit is not going to matter when you have 50k and you add on another 8.2k. Like, it's really not going to help you that much. You want your defense. So yeah, what's a few thousand more hit points going to do on an 100,000 damage attack? So now let's take a look at team compositions. For Light Envoy, there's not really a specific team composition you could use her in. She can be used in any team composition. She is the best female tank in the game and should always be used. If you have Light Envoy, okay, so the only disclaimer to this is that your Light Envoy has to be geared, runed, leveled up to a decent amount, up to the BR or around the same battle rating of your other heroes before you use her. But at this point, she should always be used. If you are running a female team, guaranteed you should have Light Envoy on your female team because of how good she is. She offers tons of team support, ridiculously tanky, and is not shut down by CC. If she gets polymorphed, she's fine. She won't die right off the bat because her survivability comes in her defensive stats, not from activatables, not from a shield she pops, not from a life steal or a life drain. It's all based on her defensive stats. So she's not shut down by CC, although CC will lower her amount of team support that she's able to give out, especially because of her ultimate. She can even be used in male teams just because of how amazing she is. She is hands down the best tank in the game, and if you have a male team, I would even recommend using her, assuming she is up to around the same BR as your male heroes or a few K below. But overall, I would still use her on a male team if you have her. So that's all I really have to say about Light Envoy. I don't really think I missed much. I mean, relics, you can't really bring relics off for certain heroes. You shouldn't be using your relics around a given hero in your team. So, yeah. That's all I have to say, guys. I hope you enjoyed the pilot episode of Hero Spotlight. These are... Okay, okay, so... These are probably not going to be definitely not going to be as long as my normal videos, not normal videos, but team composite, building your team. Man, I'm just, this is rough. They're not going to be as long as the building your team posts or uploads. I still hope you enjoy them. This Because of this, I am able to produce more of these videos. It takes quite a long time to make those 30-minute episodes of building your team. The planning part also takes a while, where I write out on notes everything I'm going to say about all the heroes, and then team compositions. It just takes quite a while for those 30-minute, and then there's editing, and then upload times and rendering and such. So these give me kind of more leave when it comes to making videos, and I'm able to crank these out at a much greater rate than I'm able to crank out the other building your team composition videos. Right, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for spending a little part of your day with me watching my video. It really means a lot, guys. The next video will be coming out hopefully soon. I'm going to try and film it today, but probably not release it for a little while. One thing I'd like to say is that I am going up 6 hours up north to work this summer, starting for 2 weeks, and I'm coming back, and then later I'm going up for a month. So the thing I'd like to say here is that I don't know if I'll be able to still produce videos while I'm up there. I'm going to try and film a few in advance, but I am getting a new laptop, so hopefully I can get my recording software downloaded on that and I can produce some videos. But if I don't, then that is why. So thank you all for watching the pilot episode of Hero Spotlight. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers, guys.